Ulrike Leis is joining us. She is officially the head of the EUKI PR. Hi, Ulrike. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing fine. Thanks, Oliver. So, welcome, everyone. It's great to have you on board. Some of you we've seen last week at the kickoff. This one today is a very important webinar, as long as we don't talk about all the good things we do, there is just only a very small audience for what we do. And since you have wonderful projects that are now getting started, please pay good attention today, because Oliver and Anselm plus the entire team were happy to assist you in anything press related. And thanks, Oliver, for putting this up today. And I'm looking forward to everyone's input. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ulrike. My name is Oliver Hölke. I'm communication officer in the EUKI PR team. Short introduction to me: I studied journalism and theater science, and I worked for a very long time, and a long time ago, as a radio journalist here in Germany. But in 2009, I moved to Ecuador and worked for the GIZ. And 2015, I came back to Berlin and started as a communicator in the International Climate Initiative. Abbreviation is the EUKI. And about a year now, I'm in the EUKI PR team. And I'm not alone. Anselm is also part of the team. Hello, Anselm.
Hi, thank you very much, Oliver. To introduce myself, my name is Anselm Bareis. I also study journalism and mass communication and international relations. Before I joined GIZ or EUKI, I was working in GIZ's communication department and studied in Vienna and Dublin and Sofia. I see there might be a few people from Bulgaria also. Welcome. And I'm working at EUKI since about 9 months, and it's very exciting to meet new projects and the people behind them. So welcome to our seminar. And we have an intern who is always assisting us, and our new intern is Nicolas.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm Nicolas. I have joined the EUKI in January this year, so very fresh. And I just graduated from my master's in European studies, so I'm also very excited to meet and get to know so many people and projects all over Europe in the field of climate change and climate protection. I'm happy to work together with you, and of course, with any question, I'm also available. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we have to follow some rules today. Well, we just have an hour. And if you have questions during our presentation, please feel free to write them in the chat box. We will answer them later. So why did we come together? Of course, because we want you to get familiar with the EUKI PR tools and channels, but we also want to encourage you to during the period of your project and maybe longer, to exchange your activities and news with the EUKI community. And we want to encourage you to use us and our platforms to disseminate the activities and your goals of your project. So we are here to support your project being more visible. So that's what we want to show you today. Now let's have a look at the agenda for the next hour. What we will achieve today. Well, we start with an interactive Slido survey, which will come after the short introduction. And we will talk about the EUKI tools and the EUKI channels. Next slide, please. And we will talk about the use of the EUKI logo, and as I said, about the tools and channels. And we will show you the next steps, those things we are expecting from you, which is not a duty, but we would like to ask you to do some things. And at the end of this event, of course, there is enough time for your questions, and we will try to answer them. We will talk a little bit about corporate design, which means the logo. We will talk a little bit about the website and how you can use the website for your interests. And of course, we will dive a little bit deeper in the topic social media. And not to forget that we have a newsletter, which is also very important for us, and the press clippings. So corporate design. The use of the logo. Most of you are probably very interested in this topic. Yeah, we got to tell you that it is vital for the projects of the EUKI to ensure an uniform publicity. So there are some rules which must be followed for public relations work on EUKI projects. For instance, in publications, reports, websites, events, cooperation with the media and so forth, it must be clearly referred to the financing of the project by the German Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservancy and Nuclear Safety, for the BMU and the EUKI. So we provide some text versions for you on our website. Nicholas, maybe you can put the link in the chat box. There you find the guidelines of corporate design of the EUKI, and there we also provide some, as I said, short and long versions which you can use for the referring to your financing. The logos. You know, there are two kinds of projects selected in the call for project ideas, and there are for tender winning projects. So for projects selected in the call for project ideas, in print and online publications and in other public relations media, for instance, banners and signs, the BMU EUKI combined funding logo must always be used with the additional words supported by. You can see it here on the left side. So, and for tender winning projects, please use the logo on behalf of, which is on the right side. And you have to keep in mind the combined funding logo for grant recipients, well, both logos are available only in English and German. So if the language you require is not available, please use the English logo. And keep in mind the placement of the combined logo in publications or other PR materials can be chosen freely by the projects. And please note that the logo may not be changed or used for other purposes. And the logo must appear on a white background. So you have to use it like it is. And all the logo files are provided with a white background, and this background determines the protection zone around the logo, which means there are no other graphic elements allowed. So this is it regarding to the logos. You can read all these rules in the guidelines, and I think Nicholas, you provided the link for where you can download the guidelines.
Good. Thank you very much, Oliver. I saw in the chat there are already a few questions. I would say we answer them all together in the end of the session, but already thank you very much for your questions on logos. I want to give you a quick introduction about our PR tools and channels we use at EUKI. And you might ask yourself what those birds have to do with EUKI public relations. it's a kind of a metaphor that we see our public relations as a snowball system, or many birds coming together on string lines. EUKI is a community. It's not only a funding program, and also our content that we want to spread on our channels comes from you. And we want to encourage you to send us content, to share your results, to share your milestones. As Oliver said before, we are actually here for you. That's what we do most of the time, to talk with our projects and try to assist you in your public relation matters. And also our PR channels, which I will show you later. We grow them and try to get them as big as possible with your content. So it's kind of a snowball system, because in the end, when we post your content, those channels get bigger, we reach a new audience, and you have a bigger audience in the end that you can reach through our EUKI channels. As we said before, we have social media channels. We have Twitter with, at the moment, 1,400 followers. I think for some of you, I think we always have WWF projects. I think their European Union account has about 300,000 followers. Of course, this is a small account. Ours compared to this, but also smaller, and for smaller organizations, I'm pretty sure this is interesting. And we reach about 500,000 people through Twitter a year. And we are connected with many big accounts in the sphere of climate action in Europe, such as EU Climate Action. They tag and retweet us from time to time, or the environment ministries across many countries in Europe. So yeah, I think they're very interesting accounts seeing your content. Facebook, as Oliver said, it's really interesting for us to see that so many people are using Facebook. I think it was about 90% of you who communicate your project over Facebook. I think this helps us to shift our priorities more towards Facebook. And we have a YouTube channel where we place videos. Nicholas, I would like to ask you to put our links to the social media channels into the chat box, because if you don't follow us yet, or if your account is not connected with ours yet, please do so. Of course, we will follow you back. And if you communicate about your EUKI project, please always make sure to tag us on Twitter and Facebook. We are very responsive. We try to share your content, and I will get later to what we can post about your projects there. And as virtual calls can be a bit tough from time to time, or such a presentation is sometimes hard to follow, we invited a special guest, not directly, but actually Angela Merkel made a video for her social media video blog, and I think she grasps very well what EUKI is about. So I want to quickly show you the video. But you might have seen the subtitles, and she emphasizes on sharing best practices. And this is exactly what we also do on our social media. So please, if you have an event which is public, if you reach a milestone with your EUKI project, if you publicate, whether it may be a flyer, an extensive report, a study, a paper, anything, please send it to us. Later, we will show our email addresses again, so please always fit us in and tag us in social media. And to make it more attractive, we develop templates for social media so that we can present your content there in a very, I would say, appealing manner. And I would quickly show you our newest template that you hopefully see now. So this was it. This was just an example of content which we can produce for you. So if you have an event, if you have a publication, and you want us to promote it, please contact us. As I said, it was only a template, so we can adjust it to your needs and fit in all the relevant data. And when you want to send us something for social media, what we need from you is descriptive project pictures. This one is from our new Heritage Buildings project. Maybe someone of Heritage Buildings is also in the call. We know that this is a very difficult time for making good and descriptive, interesting project pictures, because of course there's not much field work. We still want to encourage you to have a look for pictures which relate to your project, or maybe you have pictures from your organizations, from other projects that you had before. This is really vital for social media communications. And I have another example from another project called Living Streets. Nicholas, if you would put the links of 2 platforms into the chat. There are many platforms where you can get license-free pictures, which you can use. This is for now because there's no field work. Of course, if you use them, they shouldn't be too stock photos are sometimes not really relating well, so please make sure to look for something that really connects with your project. But it would be great to receive many pictures about your EUKI projects. And of course, videos are always great for social media. Whenever you produce a video, please send it to us and as much information with it as possible. And then we've already mentioned the EUKI community, which is the blog on our EUKI website. There are about 2 to 10 articles each and every month from our ongoing current EUKI projects. And I will get back to that later, because we will invite you to join this community page and to publish articles and events there. This is an offer from us to you, so please make sure to publish your results with the community there. To make it more attractive, we have developed a timeline so that we try to publish all the events from all the EUKI projects on one site. What you can see here is also only the template. This will be filled in the next 2-3 weeks. And we will invite you to a workshop on how to use the community page and try to answer all your questions and make it as comfortable as possible for you. And finally, a few words about our website. We have about 5,000 visits a month on average. So if you publish something there are always people seeing it. And next to the community page, we have project descriptions of you, which we publish. We sometimes do interviews or news that we write. And finally, we publish all your publications. So please make sure to send everything to us. And I think I've mentioned this before. They should have an EUKI context and should be part of your project. But maybe it's also a great library for you to go to our website, Infothek Publications, to see what other projects have done before. And of course, everything that we publish here, your publications, your community articles, and of course your events, we also publish it on social media. And finally, we have an EUKI newsletter where we also share all those things. It's growing very fast. I think it just started a bit more than a year ago, and there are already 800 subscribers from the European climate community. And that was about it. Of course, I guess you might have questions about the community page, about social media. We encourage you to ask them later and to always drop us a mail if you want to communicate something. And the next steps, in this week, in the course of this week, we will send an email to the project coordinators of all EUKI projects with access to our community blog page. If you know that if you're in the call now and you're, let's say, the communicator, PR officer of your project, and you know that you will be the one using this page, please enter your project signature and your email so that we can CC you and that you directly get all the instructions on using the community page. And we would like to invite you to a workshop. And as we have those templates that I've showed you before now, I hope you can see them. If not, Oliver, please jump in. We want to invite you to a workshop. So on 9th of February, you will get an invitation per mail. We will have a session on how to use the blog and how to upload an article there. I think for people who've never used WordPress, it might be a bit tricky, but you can ask your question. We will show you everything. And then after uploading 1-2 articles, this is really easy to use and we hope an asset for you. And then I will hand over to Oliver.
Yeah, now comes a very creative idea from us, from the EUKI PR team, and don't see as a mandatory. It's not mandatory. It is voluntary. But you already pitched your project last week during the kickoff sessions, and there you had time 90 seconds for pitching your project. And now we wanted to make it a little bit more interesting. We're asking you if you can pitch your project in 30 seconds. Not now, but maybe it's a task for the next weeks. And you can make a video on your cell phone and pitch your project. And we ask you to use your name, your organization, the country and region, and then we give you 30 seconds to tell a little bit about your project and what's the challenge of the project, what's the goal of the project, and what are you exactly working on. So some of you already have experience with pitching it with the 90 seconds, but now we ask you to do a little video message. And you can do it on a phone, on a webcam, or you can sit in front of your computer and turn on your camera, or you can do it on Skype or on Zoom. Send us this short little video message in the format horizontally, and we would like to publish it on our social media channels so that more and more people know a little bit more about your project. And there's just a little advice, please, if you record this short video message, just do it inside to avoid noises, because when you're outside, it's always windy, and maybe you can hear the traffic or whatever, but the inside location would be good. And when you're finished your video message, please send it to info@euki.de and with short video message in the mail. So that's what we are asking you. That would be great if you have time and you can do it. But as I said, it's not mandatory. Now we are coming to our last session. We still have a lot of time. We still have 20 minutes. So there are already some questions, as we can see, and there's a question regarding the logos, and I will try to answer them. Or maybe Dennis, you can ask them by yourself. Dennis Premic, if you want to, you can unmute your microphone and you can ask your questions, unless I would read it by myself.
Yes. Hello. Good day to all. Hello, Oliver, Andre. Hello, Anselm. Hello, others. Well, I wrote down those questions, but I can read them again. So maybe not in the same manner, but okay. So where can we download the logo file from? Is it available in several different resolutions, or maybe in also, is it available in the vector format so we can forward it to our graphic designer of our project materials?
Correct. Well, we will provide the logos, which means if you need them, we will send them to you. We don't put them in a public website or in a public manner so that everybody can download them, just to make sure that only organizations using it for the right purpose. So if you need the logo, please get in contact with us. I guess you all have our emails, and we will send the logo to you. And of course, we can ensure that you're using the right logo, because, as I said, there's a difference between the projects from tendering projects, and the projects are selected in the call for project ideas. Then we offer the logos in 7 different formats, and we also offer them in a vector format. So I think there you can find the correct logo for your needs and for your internal graphic designers, and which means you also wrote a question about what is 100% look like, or what does it mean, because you refer to the guideline where it says the logo proportion must be correct, normal print and online media 100%. That means you should not use the logo unproportional. You always have to use it proportional. So you can't stretch it or use it or cut it or whatever. You should use it 100% as it is offered to you. So another very challenging question is there any instruction about how big can be other logos? So yeah, it is a challenge, because of course you want to use the logo of your organization, and maybe you're working together with partners, cities, universities, and all of them want to put their logo on the same poster, let's say. That's a challenge, of course, and I personally don't prefer those vast logo symmetry, as I call it. But that's the way it is. I mean, everybody wants to be on the poster, everybody wants to be on the banner, everybody wants to be seen in an invitation, but also don't forget your project is financed by the EUKI, so you have to use it. And for the BMU, it is not important when the logo, the placement of the logo, so that the following is not that important, but it is important that the logo is used correctly, 100%, not stretched, not cut, and with a white background, and in the same size. Of course, sometimes it is your decision which size you want to show. This is another question regarding to the logos. You don't have to use it for the internal documents. Only use the text and the logo for public relations work and documents, but all the internal things, even if you have cards or something like this, I mean, you have cards from your organizations, you don't have to put that logo on your card or in any other internal documents, just to make sure when you're going out with this project and with activities and news from the projects, that you don't forget to mention the BMU. And yeah, as I said, we also provide the vector format.
Can I ask something else about the logo? Yeah. Okay. So I also asked what about the size of other logos? How do we? So I presume that the size of other, let's say, partners logos shouldn't be bigger compared to the combined EUKI BMU logo, but it's this combined logo in fact has small dimensions of these graphic symbols of EUKI and BMU, and therefore these graphic symbols of EUKI, these rounded graphic symbols, turns out smaller than, for instance, some other logos, some partners logos. So how do you regulate that?
Well, the BMU don't see a problem with that. So if the size of other logos is bigger, or let's say the how they appear, if the appearance of other logos is bigger than it is the size, it is no problem. There is no regulation in regarding to that you have to ensure that the BMU logo is as big as others. So it is necessary that you use the correct format, and of course it's a kind of graphic decision where to put it and in which size to put it. So, but of course, it is not mandatory to use the BMU EUKI logo as the biggest one. I hope I can answer that. I could answer that question.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So I sent you that kind of problem in a chat, so you can see.
Okay. Well, I can see the chat right now. Okay, but
yeah, maybe it's a good option with specific question about logo use, directly contact us. If you have a question about your logo on the website, just contact Oliver and me, and we will refer to your case. Yeah. Thank you very much for the question.
Okay, thank you very much.
I saw there are many questions in the chat. I would suggest I read them out, and if those people who post a question want to elaborate on them, please feel free to. The next question is from Adriana. Is there a Facebook group linked to the EUKI Facebook page? Do we use that? So far, not. We think it's a very good idea, and as so many of you use Facebook, I think this could be an option. So far, we don't use it yet, but we will note it, and I think it kind of relates well to the question that Stefan asked. how can you reach us on social media, or how does it come that we promote your content? Yes, right. Please tag us. And I mean, you have our handles on the two channels, Twitter, it's EUKI Climate, Facebook as well. So just tag us whenever you post about your project, and we are happy to leave a like or to share it. And if you want to reach new audiences, and for example, for event promotions, as I said, we have those templates. And concerning this, just contact us, and we will ask you about the information, a picture, and then we are happy to produce such a post for you. I hope that this answers these two questions. And the next question, also from Adriana, is there an editable file for the social media templates? It's a bit tricky. We cannot really hand it out because we use a special tool for it. But as I said, if you give us the information, then we can produce such a post for you. And of course, we can discuss what you need in the post. And then I see that you didn't hear Angela Merkel, which is my mistake. My apologies. This didn't work out, but you can check out the video later. Oliver posted it in the chat. And I see that many, Oliver, please.
There's a question from Emilia regarding to the logos. Can we scale the logo proportionally? Yes, you can. That's all.
Yeah, that's the answer. Please don't stretch it, but you can.
You can scale.
You can scale it
proportionally. Yeah. And some people can find their project on the website for now. The reason behind it is we received the project descriptions, well, not, let's say, in time. So we're still working on it, putting the project descriptions on the website. So step by step, and you can find your project on the website.
Yes, we hope to get this done until end of March, because it's 32 new projects. With projects from the tendering process, I think it's 38, 39. Yeah, please bear with us that we cannot upload them all in 1 week. We are working on it. At the moment, we still contact many projects to send us pictures, and so far we receive great pictures, despite it's very challenging at the moment to produce good pictures. So thank you for that. We try to get it done as fast as possible. And
and I saw what you asked in the Slido survey, if people are interested in hacks of how to do good photos, and I think that could be one of our next web seminars, where we maybe invite a good photographer or someone who will explain to provide good and photos which we can use on our website, and which we can use for the social media channels. Not only we, but you for your project, and you for your social for your press work. I think that's also a very interesting, could be a very interesting topic.
I would move to the next question. I hope I don't skip some. Eda Hoksha asked whether you have to share the promotional material with us. No, you don't have to. I mean, it's kind of course, this is the principle of EUKI, that if you publicate something in your project, if you communicate something on social media, if you write an article, please share it with the EUKI community over us. But there we don't approve to it, or it's not like we check on it and say, no, this is not fine, this is not fine. When we see someone is not using the logo in the right way, of course we would jump in, but there you don't have to get the promotional material approved by us, of course. We offer you to help you, to consult you if you have questions on website or social media on material. Please contact us anytime.
And there's a very interesting question from Molnar Simon. I really love this question. What's the requirement as regards reporting to EUKI about press materials, media events related to the projects? Please send it to us. I mean, this is, let's say that's butter on the bread. That's what we say in German. We really need that. I mean, this is a very good example how we can show the European climate community how our projects are working, and this is what we need to exchange the activities. And this is what the BMU, we know that BMU is really interested in all these news. If you are in contact with local media and you may had a broadcast or you had an article in a local newspaper or an online magazine, which is where your project and of course the EUKI is mentioned, please let us know. So we have a press clipping, and of course we share this press clipping with the ministry, and they're always very interested in these news and in this reporting, and yeah, and we use these links for our activities, for our PR activities. We can post them on Twitter and we can post them on Facebook. And we're compiling all the press material, so that is very interesting for us. And of course, sorry, just to say, if there is a media event, or if you're invited to a media event, or if you are organizing a media event by yourself as a project, of course, I mean, you feel free, just do it. But we are just interested in the results, or is that there happened something. And if you need support, let us know. I mean, we don't. I mean, feel free to do it. We don't. Want to limit your ideas in that occasion.
If I see it right, the next question comes from Thomas Warnicki, who asks whether it's possible to add the social media template on the website for the project. If I get it right, we make a template for you that we share on social media, or then you want to use it on the website. I cannot see why not. If you like it, yeah, great. If I got it wrong, please let me know, Thomas. But of course, we make those templates for you, so spread them as far as possible. And if this answers the question, there's a very good question from Raina Popova. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Whether there's a plan for all upcoming EUKI trainings. Once we got the community timeline running, which I was briefly talking about, which will happen after the next workshop with you to onboard you to the EUKI community page, we will upload events there. from the EUKI Academy, but as far as I'm concerned for this and the next month, there's not really a program yet. Correct me, Oliver, but we will invite you to all the Academy webinars or web seminars per email, that's for sure. And then once we have a program, always share them on the community timeline. So please check out the timeline once in a while.
Yeah, not only check the timeline, but also our posts on Facebook and Twitter. If it is an internal web seminar only for EUKI community projects, then of course you will receive an invitation by our colleagues or by us. I mean, you will in any case you will receive an invitation via mail.
And I see there's one more question about news in other languages than English, which is a very good question. And yes, we also share it on social media. This is a European Climate Initiative, so we don't want to keep out news. Mostly we then write something that this text is in Hungarian, and as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a colleague who speaks Hungarian, but we try to translate it and grasp the content. And of course, we are happy if you send us information about what's in there. But then, of course, we also spread content in different languages.
Okay, I guess we came to the end of our short meeting, short event. Thank you very much for participating, and thank you very much for joining us from all over Europe. And if we couldn't answer all the questions, feel free to write us an email. You can see our email here, and we will try to answer it personally. If you have any other requests or inquiries, please, yeah, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much, and from my side, have a good day.
Thank you very much. It was very useful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. And please make sure to contact us. I also see Stefan asked a question. This is hard to answer. Just write us an email and we can have a look at your project and try to answer your question and on how to build a narrative. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely day.